Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something that I have been wanting to do for so long, and I finally have gotten around to doing it. So, we're going to be doing a building my TBR cart, and then after we build it, I'm going to be putting all of the books that I want to read in the fourth quarter of 2024. So that is the plan. Currently, let me show you. Ignore the mess because this is my work / office space. So right now, all of my TBR stuff is like right here, and then I have to put stuff down here for extra space. And I don't want to do that anymore. So I would like to have a dedicated cart for all of my TBR or the books that I want to read or kind of like eyeing for the near future. And I want to be one of those booktube girlies that has a TBR cart. And I finally got it. This one is slightly smaller than others. I got this at Michael's. It was on sale for like $24 or something. And I think it's going to be perfect 'cause I don't need a massive TBR cart like some other people have that will hold like 40 plus books. That is, I think, too much for me because if I get too many books, then I might as well just keep them on my bookshelf. Like, honestly. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and start building it now, seeing how difficult it is. I've never built one of these, but it can't be that hard. And yeah, so we're going to do that now.
Someone to save me, no, and don't come running.
Oh my god. Apparently the hardest part is just trying to separate the shelves.
I think you said enough. You said you love for me something brand new. You said this is something.
Okay. I got no screwdriver or anything. Let's see. It says it's going to take me 16 minutes to do this project. So we're going to test it. I need my phone because I don't want to do it on my watch. Okay, we are going to test if I can get this done in the 16 minutes that the instructions say I should have. So let me show you. We have all of the parts scattered around me, and we are going to start. So we are going to do start.
Here we are in your car. Let me see who you are, who you really are. Yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. No, I just gotta know if you're gonna.
Okay. I'm just gonna prove to you. This says 16 minutes. 8 minutes. Who takes 16 minutes to put this together? I don't understand. But whatever. Okay. Put together. Super easy. And I think it's going to be the perfect size for what I need. So now we are going to go to my bookshelf really quick. We're going to get the books that I do want to read during the fourth quarter of 2024, which is September through December. And we're going to talk about them and put them on my shelf. So let's do that now.
Just do it.
All right, so I have all of the books that are kind of on my radar or are like flagged to be a book I wanted to finish in 2024. They're all in front of me and we're going to quickly kind of go through it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the books that I already have kind of pulled off of my bookshelf, put them down on that bottom shelf to be read for the month of September. But I'm going to use these because I do not have a set September TBR yet, or I'm not going to have a set September TBR. And so once I get finished with these books, I'm going to start kind of just pulling from the rest of the stack. So first book that I have on my kind of September TBR to be read is A Fate Inked in Blood. Bought this and I absolutely love the edges, and I've heard nothing but good things. Can't wait to read this. Throne of the Fallen. Got this 100% because Sarah Caroli has a little blurb on the first page of, like, you know, why you should read it. And I really loved the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and this follows Envy. So I've heard this is a really great book also. Then I have One of Us Is Next. I'm pretty sure I have not read this. I'm almost positive I have not read this. And so I have a couple other Karen M. McManus books. I've already read, what's it called? I've already read One of Us Is Lying. This is the sequel to it. So I wanted to read this so I can try to get through all of those books because this has been on my bookshelf for quite a while, and I thought I would read this in September. And then the last book I have on my eyes to finish in September is Daisy Hates. I really wanted to have me read the entire Magnolia Parks universe in 2024. I don't think that's going to happen, but I am going to go ahead and start trying to make my way through those books. I've already read the first Magnolia Parks book, and now I want to read the first Daisy Hates book. So this is the other one that I wanted to read for the month of September. Okay, now we're going to go through all the other books that I have kind of pulled that I wanted to try to read. So first book we have is The Coven. This is a dark romance. It's got beautiful sprayed edges, and I also picked up the second book in this series, which is The Cursed, which I have over here, and so I do want to read this as well. So The Coven. And then we have The Sinner's Duet. This is the copy that Larissa did the cover for. This has got the first book and the second book in it. I have already read the first book, which is There Are No Saints, I think. And then the second book is There Are No Sinners, I think it's called. There Is No Evil. So I want to read the second book so I can have this duology done. So we have The Sinner's Duet. Then we have some other books that I purchased just recently. Is Wild Eyes. This is book 2 of the Rose Hill Ranch. I think it's Rose Hill Ranch. Rose Hill series. This is book 2. This whole series is going to be Single Dad, so I'm super excited. I absolutely love Elsie Silver books, and I cannot wait to read this one. Then we have a TikTok Made Me Buy It, Lights Out. This is a dark romance. I have heard this is amazing, and I cannot wait to dive into another dark romance. Then we have The Cursed. This is book 2 of the Coven series, so I want to, hopefully book 1 is great, and then I'll dive into book 2. If book 1 is not great, then we'll still dive into book 2, but have very low expectations. So we have The Cursed, which I'm going to put that next to The Coven. And then we have The Games Gods Play. I actually got this, one, because of sprayed edges. It's always going to get me. But then I also got this because I was just wandering through Target and I saw this on one of the end caps, decided to pick it up because it looked really cute, or interesting, I should say. It's all about the gods, and I guess every so often the gods will get humans to do some kind of battle, I guess. I'm not quite sure. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds really good. So I think this is what it is. I'm not sure, but this has Hades, and it's got Zeus, and I don't know what else. But this looks really interesting. I've heard this is really good. So we have The Games Gods Play. Then we have the other books that I had already had on my bookshelf. We have Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. Great fall type book, I'm hoping. Then we have The League of Gentlewoman Witches. Again, screams fall. Not the Witch You Knew, fall. Throttled, I do have, this has 2 stickers. Why do Target put stickers on their books? But I have Throttled. This is the first book of the Dirty Air. Yeah, the Dirty Air series. This is an F1 series that Lauren Asher has written. I also have Larissa did another book cover, but for book 4 of this series, which is Redeemed, that's her favorite. So I do want to go ahead and start book 1. I'll have to end up getting book 2 and 3, and then I'll have 4. So we're going to start Throttled. And then we have Mistborn, which has been on my TBR for literally so long, but this is one of the ones I wanted to read in 2024, so I will read it. Again, I've already done a read. I want to do a reread. I've already read this. But we have Mistborn. I will read this in 2024. And then we have Warbreaker. This is a standalone Brandon Sanderson book. I've heard this is really good and kind of gets you into Brandon Sanderson's like universe. And it has really interesting magic, I guess. So we have Warbreaker. And then The Ravens. I got this at Barnes & Noble several months ago and decided I wanted to include this in the end of the 4th quarter books because it does look very like spooky, fall, Halloween time frame. So we have The Ravens. My book fell down. We have Ruthless Vows. This has been on so many months TBR in 2024, and I have yet to read it. I need to read it. I will read it before the end of the year. This will be read, hopefully. We have Ignite Me. This is the book 3 of the Shatter Me series. I currently have book 2 is downstairs actually in my purse because that's the one that I'm actually reading the novella before book 2, but I already have pulled book 2, so that is one of the books that I wanted to read in September. And then my goal was to finish the Shatter Me series in 2024, so I went ahead and pulled book 3 so that way I would be ready to go as soon as I get done with book 2. And then I also have all of the novellas which are on my shelf. I'm not going to put them out up here, but I will be reading the novellas as well. But we do have Shatter Me. Don't You Cry by Mary Kubica. I got this at a used bookstore for $3 and I know nothing about it, but it has single white female on steroids, and I really did enjoy the single white female movie. So we have this book. And then we have a cozy fantasy. This is Can't Spell Treason Without T. I mean, it literally says a cozy fantasy steeped with love. Love that. Beautiful sprayed edges. This is going to be when I feel like getting a cozy fantasy down. I actually have quite a few. I probably am going to have a cozy fantasy video coming up within the next quarter of 2024. So look forward to that. But we have Can't Spell Treason Without T. Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This will be the 2nd book that I've ever read of his. I did read House Across the Lake, and it was a decent book. I think I ended up giving it like 3.5, I think. But we do have Home Before Dark. This looks spooky. This looks perfect for the fall/Halloween season. So we have this. Pretty Little Wife by Darby Kane. This, again, looks kind of a mystery, thriller, spooky type book. So I want to read this. And then we have the Brothers Hawthorne. I have already read the Inheritance Games. This is the follow-on book to the Inheritance Games, and I know there's a couple other books that she's already come out with one, and I think another one is about to come out. So I do want to continue that young adult kind of series. So we have the Brothers Hawthorne. Another little kind of cozy fantasy, I think. This one is I'm Afraid You've Got Dragons by Peter Beagle. And I know nothing about this other than Travis Baldree, who wrote Legends and Lattes, has a little blurb on the top. So I want to read this. This will probably be in my cozy fantasy video. Lee Bardugo's The Familiar. I mean, does this not look like a Halloween fall type book? I don't know what else would look kind of spooky other than this. So we're going to be reading this book. Know nothing about it, but I do want to read it. And then we have How to Murder Your Employer. I saw this on Instagram, Reels, TikTok. I don't remember where I saw it, but I saw this on some platform, and then I ended up running into Barnes & Noble for something else and saw this on the bookshelf or on like a kiosk and decided to go ahead and pick it up. So we have How to Murder Your Employer. And then we have, I'm going to turn this, maybe this is not the best one. Did you hear that creak? Ooh. We're going to do some shifting to adjust some of the weights because, yeah. Does this have a weight limit? I'm afraid this might have a weight limit. Well, let's go ahead and keep going. I have to look at the weight limit of my cart to see if this will even work. If it won't, that sucks. All right, we have some more books. Like I said, I'm not gonna put them on the shelf because I don't want it to break. Foxglove. This is book 2 of the Belladonna series. Book 3 has already come out, but I'm waiting for the paperback. And I have this version, which has the beautiful sprayed edges. So we have Foxglove. Another little cozy fantasy. This is The Spell Shop. This one, when I got it, I had not seen anything about it. But now, all over TikTok, I've seen people have this so many times on their like TBR, and they've talked about it. And so I'm excited. This is another little cozy fantasy book that will probably be in that video. So The Spell Shop. Half-Blood. This is my first book that I've ever will be read by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a romantasy and sprayed edges. Gotta love it. And then we have Bookshops and Bone Dust. This is the second book by Travis Baldree. This one I thought was like a prequel to Legends and Lattes, but I might be wrong. It has Viv in it. So I don't quite know if this follows Legends and Lattes or if this is just another like book about Viv. Not quite sure, but we have Bookshops and Bone Dust, cozy fantasy. Warm Hands of Ghosts. This looks absolutely perfect for the fall time. So got this. So excited to read it. And then we have 3 books that I'm hoping I'll be able to finish, but I really don't know if I'm going to finish them or not. But we're going to shoot for it. So we have Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Dracula. So these are all books that I got off of the secondhand bookstore. And I've really been wanting to read these. I got these last year before Halloween, fully intending to read them for the Halloween series or time frame, season, whatever. And I just wasn't able to read them. So I'm hoping I'll be able to read them in 2024. So we have these 3. And then that is all of the books that I want to read within the the last quarter of 2024. Let me count how many books they are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. That's 35 books that I want to read within the next 4 months. Or September, October, November, December. Yeah. 4 months is a quarter, Heidi. So 30, what was it? I have a lot of books that I want to read within the last quarter of 2024. I also think currently, I think I'm at 90 books that I've read so far in 2024, and my goal is 120 books. So, if I'm able to read all of these books, I will be able to say that I have met my 2024 goal. Hopefully, seeing these out and slowly seeing them kind of dwindle down will help me make sure I hit my goal. With that, thank you so much for watching. Let me really quick, I'm really curious. Hold, please. Let me see. I have this book, or this thing. That's Spanish. Okay, so yeah. I don't know if I'll be able to keep this. I might have to pack it back up again because it says on the box that I did not read. I read the directions. I read the size. I read everything about this cart except for the weight limit. So the weight limit is 6.6 pounds per tray. Now, I immediately know that it's more than 6 pounds. So thank you for watching. I'm now going to take all of these off of this tray, put them down here on my bottom shelf yet again, and then I'm wrapping all this back up to go and put it in this box and return it. That's so upsetting. Oh well, lesson learned. If you need a book cart, make sure you look at the weight limit. Yeah, so, okay. With that, thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please make sure you do so, and I will see everybody in my next video.